Here's what happened at the final round of the FIM Supermoto World Championship S1GP at Castelletto di Branduzzo. Lucas Holbacher, who was going for third in the championship, pulled off a fantastic hole shot ahead of Thomas Scherer and Mark Schmidt. Kmar, who we're on board with, started in fifth, but by the time we got to turn 3, Rainer Schmidt was up in a second, past his rival Thomas Scherer, and into second position. In the early stage of the race, 72, Lucas Holbacher started to pull clear. At the head of the field, with Mark Schmidt and Thomas Scherer there in second and third. Jimenez was hanging on to fourth ahead of Kmar. Scherer just keeping an eye on what was going on behind him, just in case he wanted to launch an attack on the German in second place ahead of him. Kmar went from fifth to fourth with that pass on the Spaniard Jimenez, but that's as far as he would get. As you can see how far the top 3 were ahead of him, already disappearing out of sight. And at the same time, Mark Schmidt and Thomas Scherer were closing in on the race leader, Lucas Holbacher. Holbacher ran wide. Schmidt dived down the inside to take the lead. Still had some work to do though. Eventually got the job done. All of a sudden, Scherer was down in third, and Mark Schmidt was gaining 5 points on Thomas Scherer. Scherer did eventually go through, but Holbacher then had some problems. His bike limping home to the pit lane area as Jimenez was in a battle with Riccardo Loggiani over 5th and 6th place at the time. As Holbacher came in and out of the race, out of third place in the championship. Further on the racetrack, Jimenez and Loggiani fell. Final lap, Mark Schmidt fell from the lead, handing the advantage to Thomas Scherer. And Scherer was on course for picking up 25 points in race 1, and that's exactly what he did. Rainer Schmidt came home in second. No Lucas Holbacher lining up at the start of S1GP race 2, so all Kmar had to do as he entered turn 1 in third place was just finish the race. Scherer grabbed the hole shot but ran wide. Mark Schmidt took a nervous look over his shoulder as he charged towards turn 3 just to make sure that Scherer wasn't going to park it down the inside of him. Jimenez was in 4th, Dedato was in 5th in the early stages. But Mark Schmidt knew that all he could do was go out and win the race and hope for some kind of problems for Scherer, because it was still mathematically possible for the German to be crowned world champion in his rookie season in S1GP. As the race went on, Mark Schmidt on the 41 degasoline TM and Thomas Scherer on the factory TM started to pull clear of the KTM of Pavel Kmar, as once again Lucas Holbacher and his Husqvarna suffered mechanical gremlins. The battle for the front, though, was tense. Rainer Schmidt trying to keep a cool head. Would he learn from the mistakes he made in Moto number 1? Well, the battle for Jimenez and Dedato. Those two battling over 5th. And then Dedato found his way onto the rear wheel of Loggiani to get himself in a good position to challenge for 4th, and he did go through with a couple of laps to go, but on the final lap all eyes were on this battle here between Mark Schmidt and Thomas Scherer, 1st and 2nd, and it was a great final lap of the season as well between the two TM riders. Scherer got close but was never quite close enough to launch that attack on Mark Schmidt. And they were never more than 1 or 2 bike lengths apart throughout the entire race. The checkered flag went out, and it was Mark Schmidt who won the second moto, the final race of the season, and took his second Grand Prix victory of the season. But Thomas Scherer is a world champion for the 5th time. And as he mounted the podium, 2nd overall on the day, he did so knowing that he was a history maker. 5 world titles now, the most successful rider in Supermoto history. Pavel Kmar 3rd overall, but as we said before, Mark Schmidt a winner for the 2nd time this season. he'll be looking forward to next year, that's for sure. And so too will Thomas Scherer, because once again he will line up as a world champion. Can he make it 6 in 2017?
Yes, it was a good season for me. Only Tom was a little faster this year, but I walk every weekend and better. Yesterday we have some problems, but for today it will be better. And so in the first moto in front, I was first, and in the last round I crashed because oil on the track, and not so happy about the second place, but the second race I can win, and I'm really happy with this second GP win overall. In the first season it's not bad, I think, and I'm happy for today.
Incredible season. I won 4 GPs on 6. It's just amazing. The good race today. Good fight with Mark on the second moto. It was just perfect. And I want to thank all the sponsor, the team, my family, my girlfriend, everybody, and see you next year.